Good morning. Me. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Felicia Plummer, the ELA instructional coach, and I'd like to welcome you all to the commencement ceremony of the Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus High School, class of 2019. We realize that this day has been anticipated for many years. Our staff and students have worked hard, so together, let's make this occasion one of the finest hours for our seniors. In order to do this, please place your cell phones and other electronic devices in the off or vibrate setting to ensure that there are no distracting noises or interruptions that will take away from fully honoring our graduates. Now, would you please stand for the presentation of colors by the North Atlanta High School JROTC, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the National Anthem by Miss Brittany Ammons. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor and pleasure to introduce our Mistress of Ceremony for this program. Please welcome our esteemed, illustrious principal, Dr. Evelyn Mobley.
Thank you, Dr. Plummer. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Evelyn Mobley, the proud principal of the Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus High School. Today, we are here to celebrate our seniors, the class of 2019, as they embark on their next journey in life. The future is indeed theirs. We would like to ask your support to help us provide an experience that honors each of them. Therefore, we would like to emphasize that everyone deserves to hear the entire ceremony. As we recognize each student individually and collectively, to accomplish this, we really need your help. Please avoid from making loud, inappropriate shouting or other noises that may prevent a family from hearing their child's name when it is called. So to assist you in releasing some of that awesome excitement, we would like to give you the opportunity to recognize all of the graduates. So please stand now, clap, and shout for the graduate that you have on the floor. Thank you, and you may be seated. I would like to take this, there's a lot of energy over there. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus and Atlanta Virtual Academy's family, beginning with platform guests. Associate Superintendent, Dr. Dan Sims. Assistant Principals, Mr. Carter Coleman and Ms. Robin Anderson Davis. Instructional coaches, Dr. Melissa Plummer and Ms. Riosha Bush. Department chairs, Ms. Adrienne Dones, Ms. Crystal Gilstrap, Mr. James Lingenfelter, Ms. Phyllis Lucy, and Ms. Swanee Sharma. College advisor, Mr. Jillian Anderson. Registrar, Ms. Susie Jones. Social worker, Ms. Gina Hendricks-Smith. School counselor, Ms. Jennifer Higgins-Brooks. Special education lead, Ms. Faustina Thompson. Dr. Faustina Thompson, please forgive me for that. Assistant graduation coordinator and SST RTI coordinator, Dr. Kim Parks. Executive director of instructional technology, Dr. Aaliyah Henderson Rosser. Director of information services, Ms. Cassandra Holmes. AVA project manager, Mrs. Natasha Holly, and counselors, Ms. Ayana Eccles and Mr. Kenton Pope. Will all, yes, thank you for giving them a round of applause. Will all other members of the faculty and staff of Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus High School and Atlanta Virtual Academy please stand at this time? Thank you. You may be seated. Today, it is my honor to introduce our Superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools, Dr. Maria Joel Christophe, a graduate of Harvard University School of Education and a native of Selma, Alabama. She is in her 5th year as the district superintendent. Dr. Christophe has brought with her an impressive record in transformational leadership with nearly 25 years of education and experience in diverse major metropolitan public school districts. Under her leadership in Atlanta Public Schools, the district's graduation rate has increased by 20.8 percentage points from a mere 59.1 in 2014 to 79.9% in 2018, which is the highest graduation rate in the district since being aligned to state standards in 2012. She credits her hardworking students, that's you, our families, our educators for her dramatic improvement. Dr. Christophe is passionate about leading Atlanta Public Schools and living the mission every day for students to be ready for college and career. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Maria Joel Christophe to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Mobley. All right. When I say Crim, you say Eagles. Crim. Crim. When I say soar, you say higher. Soar. Soar. Welcome, welcome, welcome as we celebrate Crim High School's gorgeous class of 2019. It is on this day, graduation day, when Atlanta Public Schools can say that we are really living the mission to ensure that our kids graduate ready for college and career. It is the most beautiful part of the day when we actually see your babies, and yes, you're still a baby to somebody. That's your godchild, your grandchild, your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, your friend actually come across this stage to get that diploma in their beautiful, splendid blue and gray. In this moment, we're all families celebrating the future of our children. And this class has so many accomplishments and achievements. It is an impressive group of students who have had their own fair share of struggles, challenges, but they've actually persevered to be here today. For this class of Eagles, you're going to hear about their accomplishments in academics, arts, citizenship, all the things that makes them ready to be part of our school community and the Atlanta community. Dr. Crim is a huge part of our district and city's legacy. In 1973, Dr. Alonzo Crim became Atlanta's school superintendent, the job that I have the honor of serving in today. It made him the first African-American superintendent ever hired by a major Southern school system. He served in that job until he retired in 1988. When Dr. Crim joined Atlanta Public Schools, he always said he would build a school district where students would know that people cared about them. Your school, your teachers, the support staff, your principal, and our school board couldn't love and care about Crim more. We've worked very hard to streamline this program so that even more students will be able to graduate when they need an alternative approach to get to that diploma. Now, some students and their stories you're about to hear about have taken every advantage of this program. 12 of these students actually held jobs while they were going to school. 7 were parenting while they were going to school. And almost all of them are using MARTA and coming from all parts of the city, often having to travel 2 hours every day just to be able to work on their diploma. If you are those students, please stand so you can be recognized. When I say Crim, you say Crim. Crim. Now there are students who also register to vote. Please recognize Dejanera Nickelberry. Dejanera Nickelberry, please stand. Emmanuel Roberts, Joey Mitchell, Valente Anderson, and Jacob Broad. They all exceeded their community service hours required of APS graduates as well. Stand up one more time so I can make sure the camera gets your beautiful faces. When I say Eagles, you say? No. I was tricking you up. It was when I say soar, you say higher. Soar. Soar. Okay, we have 3 Atlanta scholars who are Achieve Atlanta scholars who earned scholarships to go to college. That is tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships. They'll be recognized by name later in the program. You have a morale officer, Hannah Vaughn. She keeps all of the students' spirits high, stay standing, high, and even after she had to leave home at 17 years old, she kept her own spirits high, finding the strength within herself to stay in school even though her home situation was very volatile. She's graduating and continuing the pace as that she said as a JROTC cadet and is going into the U.S. Coast Guard. When I say soar, you say higher, soar. And you have students who found even more creative ways to graduate. Kara Lewis, please stand, is one of our virtual Academy learners. She found her own way to soar because she did not want to get grounded. She literally created a career where she is going to now study and work in aircraft aviation at the Aviation Institute of Maintenance. Soar! Soar! And I know that it's rewarding to be here with our students. They worked so hard to overcome some unbelievable odds at this particular significant milestone in their life. And I know that almost all of you had to overcome something to be able to graduate today. And you deserve a ton of credit. There are many people, though, who are behind you every day making that happen. You know your teachers and support staff, but I want to actually introduce the school board who is elected to serve you. I'd like to start with board member Cynthia Briscoe Brown, Vice Chair Ishay Collins, board member Leslie Grant, and board member Michelle Olympiadis, who represents this school. Of course, you have the top Eagle herself, Principal Evelyn Mobley, and the entire faculty and staff at Crim. I'd also like to shout out your former principal, Principal Dawn Parker, who has gone on to other opportunities in education, but she has served the district for 5 years, and we were so honored to have her be a finalist as Principal of the Year. Now, these people are proud of you, of course, but there's another group who is super, super proud of you. They are the flock. I know eagles are kind of like their independent selves, but they really are the flock of birds who surround you and have fed you when you were a baby bird, all the way up to you being a grown folk today. So would you please stand up, our eagles, and thank your parents and caregivers for supporting you on your journey. Now, my last parting words to you is about eagles themselves. In their natural habitat, eagles love a good storm. When clouds gather, the eagles actually get excited. The reason they get excited is because an eagle catches the wind on their wings, and they use that to carry them up higher above the storm clouds. This also gives an eagle an opportunity to glide and rest their wings. It seems kind of unnatural to use a storm to make it easier for yourself. The world, as you know, can be pretty tough. Many of you have experienced it already firsthand. But you know that you can't let life storms deter you. Turn it into something that allows you to rest a little. Get excited about it. Find your way to glide and get over the rest of the mess. What you learn can carry you to even higher heights, even when you think the storm clouds are working against you. We, your parents and caregivers, all of the staff and faculty on this stage and in the audience really cares about your future. That is why they worked so hard to ensure that even when the traditional school did not work for you, they created a new design to make it possible for you to still get a high school diploma. On behalf of Atlanta Public Schools, I want to tell you congratulations and good luck. We love you and we will miss you.
Thank you, Dr. Christophe, and we appreciate your leadership and your support of the Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus High School. At this time, please welcome our class speakers, Samaya and Kara Lewis and Tamiya Thornton. They will be followed with a poem by Felicia Fleege and Micaiah Ivory. Please welcome them to the stage.
All right. Hello and good morning, everyone, and congrats to my fellow scholars. Before I begin, I want to give a thanks to my family for supporting me. At one point, I was gonna drop out, and my brother told me he told me that I need to get up off my you-know-what and finish high school and become the best I can be. And I'd like to thank my grandma. I'm sorry. I'd like to thank my grandma and my mom for teaching me how to be a lady, and my mom for also being my mom and my father. Sorry, I'm a crybaby. But I'd like to congratulate you all and myself for making it to this day. High school is easy for some, it may be harder for others, but that is okay. That is life. For me personally, high school is easy, yet I still struggle. Why did I struggle? Because I simply did not care, or felt that way for 3 years. And eventually, I found out that it's hard finding work without an education. Your education proves to others that you are competent in a particular field. It also helps you to become more well-rounded. I believe that you will never be successful unless you believe it. I also believe that the road to success is surely and carefully paved by people like us, all of us. Let's not have the mentality of the 1%ers. They think that everything is impossible and highly unlikely. Think and live in the 99%. You must focus and put your all into what you are passionate about, and you must believe in yourself. I'm sorry, y'all. The journey you all have taken has led you to the same destination, but your journey does not end here. You must go on to become the greatest you can be. No matter your background, you must believe that you can be successful. Success does not mean rich. Success means your quality, not your quantity. You may endure struggles and have to make sacrifices, but at the end of the day, you become closer to where you need to be. Remember to always believe in yourself regardless of when others don't. If you fail, try again or create a better solution. You are more than a high school graduate. You are the new leaders of the world. You are our future. The future is not a long way off. It is here. It is now. It is ours. Now let's go and get it.
Good morning, fellow classmates, staff, parents, and loved ones. My name is Tamiya Thornton, and it is my distinct pleasure to be speaking with you today. My experience at Alonzo Crim High School has been filled with many memories, lessons, and valuable experiences. If you had known me when I first got here, you know that I was quiet as a mouse, didn't make a peep, and didn't show any emotion. My initial goal was to come here, catch up, and graduate without any obstacles. I thought if I made C's and just got by, it would be enough for me. However, I later realized I had to want more for myself. Before, when I attended KIP Atlanta Collegiate, I didn't take school seriously. It was to the point I was always in trouble with my teachers, and they would call my mom every other day. It was really embarrassing for her because I acted like I didn't have any home training. One time, my teacher ended up calling her, and there was a meeting that involved a social worker, and I almost got taken away from my mom. When I came to Crim, I started to make friends and adapted to the Crim family. As my journey continued, I encountered challenges along the way, confrontation with peers, and disagreement blocked my vision at times. Through the lessons from my supporters such as Mr. Marv Smith, Ms. Robinson, Dr. Oliver, Ms. Anderson Davis, and Wellspring Living, I was able to ignore the negativity, retain focus, and complete all my classes. I got into a little situation in my high school career, but I didn't let it get in the way of my education and learning. If I learned anything at Alonzo A. Crim, I learned that people are going to try to distract you from getting ahead of them, and they don't want to see you become great. So I had to make sure nobody can make me lose focus on my academics. A quote that reminded me of the whole situation comes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who said, "Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets." To me, the quotes mean you are the only one holding yourself back. And I was doing that by hanging with people who didn't match my passion, energy, and drive. You can keep striving for excellence and not let opinion of others get in your way. In life, you must be a leader to make your own path for others to follow you. Alonzo A. Crim High School presents that possibility. Following your own footsteps is the most important lesson I have taken from Crim, because you can get influenced to do the wrong thing instead of focusing on yourself and your own path. Even though we strive to blaze our own trail as individuals, we cannot forget about the sacrifices previous generations helped us to get to this point. I would like to leave you with a quote from Abraham Lincoln that Dr. Crim himself used in his speech, "A community of believers. A child is a person who is going to carry on what you have started. He or she is going to sit where you are sitting. And when you are going to attend those things which they think are important, the fate of humanity is in his or her hands. As we take this leap into our future, remember those words. Take note of the world around you. Listen to your heart. Design your own path and set forth towards success. The generation that come after are watching and preparing to follow in your footsteps. Now is our time to shine. Now is our time to be the guiding light. The future is ours."
I am Felicia Fleege.
And I am Micaiah Ivory.
Invictus by Williams Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, dark as a pit from pole to pole, I thank God for whatever may be for my unconquerable soul.
In the fair clutching circumstances, my head is, I'm sorry, y'all. I have not witnessed no crowd aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed.
Beyond this place of wrath and looms, but the horror. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years. Finds and shall find me unafraid.
It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment should stroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Thank you, Karaj, Shamaya, Talisha, and Micaiah for such touching words. We appreciate you and all you have done to represent Alonzo A. Crim Campus Open High School so respectfully. Thank you. At this time, will our assistant principals, Mr. Carter Coleman and Ms. Anderson Davis, please come to the podium for awards and recognitions.
Good morning. Now we will acknowledge those seniors for the various awards of excellence. Will Dr. Christophe, Ms. Olympiadis, Dr. Sims, please join Dr. Mobley center stage for presentations of our honor roll students, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup, the Principal's Eagle Award, and the Justin Barner Eagle Award. Now, the following seniors have earned a cumulative grade point average of 80% and higher. Those honor students are, as I call your name, please come to the stage. Sumaya Chapman, Nico Oliver, Tamiya Thornton, Hannah Vaughn, and Kara Lewis. The next award is the Atlanta Constitution Journal Cup. It is given to a student in recognition of outstanding academic achievement, leadership skills, character, and community involvement. The 2019 AJC Cup recipient is Tamiya Thornton. The Principal's Eagle Award is presented to those students who have persevered against all odds and who have outstanding character, academics, and leadership. The 2019 Eagle Award seniors are as follows. Jalen Mallory. Jalen has a big smile. He is described by his teachers as very motivated, well-mannered, and very, very full of life. He is a class leader and is always trying, based on what his teachers say. Jalen's road to education was full of many bumps. Bump. Jalen has health issues that have placed him in the hospital several times. Bump. Jalen's house was caught afire and he lost everything. Bump. Jalen suffered the death of his stepfather. With all of these things that happened to Jalen, he persevered and never gave up on achieving his goal. The road may have been bumpy, but the future is bright. Congratulations, Jalen. The second recipient is DeAndre Stallworth. What do the following schools have in common? Mays High School, South Atlanta, Booker T. Washington High School, Crim High School, and West End. They all have DeAndre Stallworth in common. He attended all 5 high schools and he dropped out 5 times. 7 years ago, DeAndre started his high school journey, but through a number of setbacks, he never, ever stopped. He's standing here today to present himself as reminding us all that it's never too late to reach your goals. Congratulations, DeAndre. The top Eagle Award is in honor of Justin Bonner, a 2011 graduate of Crim Open Campus High School. Jalen lost the battle of cancer and transitioned into a new life a few months after graduation. However, before his transition, he was determined to complete his high school career. He never gave up. He worked to pass all parts of the Georgia High School graduation test. We have 2 students this year who have the same determination and willpower as Justin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alonzo A. Crim Justin Bonner Resilient Eagle Award goes to Terrence Rice. Please come forward. Terrence is described by his teachers as here and now. Terrence has only missed 2 days the entire second semester. During his 9th and 10th grade year, it was very difficult for him to attend school on a regular basis. His 11th grade year, he suffered the loss of his grandfather, and in this, he dropped out of school for a while. Eventually, he soared and returned to school. He completed 12 classes in just 2 quarters and is graduating in 4 years. He was determined that his loss was not going to stop him from achieving his goal. Congratulations. The second recipient is Joey Mitchell. Please come forward. Joey is a hard worker and an all-around nice guy based on how he's described by his teachers. What his teachers did not say was he had to overcome attending 4 different high schools. He dropped out for over a year and a half. He has worked full-time and goes to school in order to support his daughter. He overcame taking an hour and a half journey to school. He completed 15 classes in 3 quarters. Congratulations, Joey. Also, Joey and Terrence will be receiving a book award. Thank you, Dr. Christophe, Ms. Olympiadis, and Dr. Mobley.
Good morning. Our Visions of the Future ceremony was held on May 20th, recognizing our seniors for their hard work and dedication in academics, character, leadership, Seniors, will you please stand to be recognized if you received an award at the Visions of the Future ceremony for your accomplishments in academics, character, or leadership? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge students who gave blood to the American Red Cross. Will you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge students who are attending college this fall. Will you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge students who are listed in the military. Will you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge our students who are registered to vote. Would you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge our students who have already joined the workforce. Would you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge Tamiya Thornton for receiving the Intelligence Production Scholarship Award by Piney Grove Baptist Church. Will you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge Tequila Barnes, Joey Mitchell for receiving scholarships from the Rotary Club of Johns Creek in North Fulton. Will you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to acknowledge Tequila Barnes, Macy Mitchell, Tamiya Thornton for receiving Atlanta Achieves scholarships, which will be in the amount of over $9,000 collectively. Thank you. You may be seated. Please join me as we give all of our seniors another round of applause for their commitment to excellence in education. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman and Ms. Anderson Davis, for your assistance. I salute each of the recipients for their achievements and accomplishments at Visions this morning. Congratulations again. You know, I just want to be transparent this morning. I am overjoyed, I am filled, and I believe there's scripts that you write and you wordsmith it out and you have all the buzzwords. You have every line that will align with the vision and mission, and you write the speech. It's called a principal's address. But I'm also bent on the theory that sometimes you don't always go with that address, but you go with the script that is written in your heart. This script started this morning when board member Lipiatis gave me a gardenia. And she was passing them out. I received one yesterday. It's on my kitchen table now. And she was passing them out this morning. She was jovial, but little did she know that she was ready to start something big. This is your season, and she said, this is a gardenia, and it is starting to bloom. She said, it is the season. So I say to the Crim graduates, it is the season. It is time to continue to bloom. Good morning. Dr. Christophe, Atlanta Public Schools Superintendent, Atlanta Public Schools board members, partners in education, Atlanta Virtual Academy, awesome Crim scholars, family, faculty, and friends. I consider it an honor and a pleasure to celebrate you, the graduates who have made this moment a major milestone. I would also like to acknowledge Ava for giving us 12 graduates out here this afternoon. So Ava, we applaud you. Thank you for what you've done, helping to enhance the numbers of this graduating class. When introducing the superintendent, we talked about a 59% graduation rate, and then we spoke about 5 years early, and we're at 79.9. That's pretty significant. And Dr. Christophe would say if we had one more student, we would have crossed over 80%. I believe that one student is in this group of students. Please give them another hand. You know, there's an ancient Chinese proverb, and it's quoted constantly as a source of motivation and inspiration for people like you and me. And it reads, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." To the young lady who wept and said, "My brother said, get out of here, go handle your business," it was your first step. Thank you for being obedient. So I am excited today that you, the persistent graduate, has begun your journey with that single step. It is equally noteworthy to reiterate and acknowledge the partners, companions, playmakers, ride-or-die folk that you chose to accompany you along the way. During our vision ceremony, I saw a transformation, and you identified the companions that you rode in with. You identified that attribute, that character trait, that social emotional aspect that helped to support you find your way from transforming into a Crim graduate today. And according to you, you named those attributes. Some of you stood tall, and you said that your journey was ordered and peppered with the spirit of grace, perseverance, compassion, self-control, acceptance, courage, ambition, determination, integrity, diligence, and faith. You said that. You mimicked that. You crossed over with those things. And though we don't have millions of dollars in scholarships, and there was a funny story about who is the Val and Sal, I want you to know that every one of you out there, you are validated by your journey and your works. You are saluted because you stayed the course, and we do salute you. You are the Vals and Sals of Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus. I got a text from a favorite person, and the text read about scholarship monies. How much does your school have? And numbers flowed in that were 15 million, 8 million, and the millions went on and on and on. And yesterday, I sat on this very stage at a commencement, and all I could see was you. And it wasn't about the millions, it was about the difference that you've made. Your scholarship indeed comes in the form of hope. You have been fragranced with hope. If I measure hope, and I want to give the district an analogy, or if I just want to say, what does hope look like? When I look out, I can measure hope because it took hope to bring you to this place. So thank you, teachers. Thank you, administrators. Thank you, family. Thank you, board members. Thank you, everybody who stood in the gap to help hope arrive. Thank you. This journey has afforded each of you the opportunity to walk intentionally towards your future and claim it as your own. This is where you reached out, touched, and agreed with your courageous self that you would be captain of your souls. This is where your journey has taken you. Check this out. You have gone from being a scholar to a graduate, and you get to proclaim by transformation today that when you turn your tassel, that you have created a generational royalty. They get to say, remember when you walked across the stage. For some of you, it is the hope and the prayer answered that you was that first one to graduate. You will forever be celebrated. You will forever be that rock star. And to all of you, collectively, you have made an impossible journey possible. So now you have defied the odds. You get to redesign your vision boards. You get to attain a world that you wouldn't have had. You get to pass on the baton. We are so proud of you. So now, I want you to imagine that you have risen from the dust. You have defied all odds. You succeeded. You've gone above the challenges. It's brought tears. It's brought hard work. It's brought dedication. But my God, you look like a phoenix out there to me. You are ready to rise above all that we could have asked or thought. You've earned your wings, and we are appreciative. So, I say to you, this is where you take your beloved self and you nurture and you cultivate your incomparable souls. That soul that has co-signed and acknowledged that whatever you build is what you will have. Nothing is free. So, Crim Scholars, Crim Eagles, and very shortly you will become an Alonzo A. Crim High School alumni. On behalf of Crim's administrative team, Atlanta Virtual Academy, and the awesome faculty and staff, we challenge you. We challenge you to continue to be ambitious and to claim your future, one that is still being defined, one that is yet to be fully announced, one that begins when you walk across this stage this day, this morning. Trust me. No, I prefer you trust yourself. And remember to walk like, to talk like, to act like, to work hard like, to declare and walk therein. Like the future is not only yours, but it has your name on it. Crim Scholars and soon-to-be alumni, go in peace, for the future is indeed yours. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, and you may be seated. We are now at the highlight of this morning. The audience is respectfully asked to refrain from cattails, loud voices, inappropriate standing, and taking of pictures or other behaviors that will distract from recognizing and honoring the students. So this is where, as principal, I get to certify that these candidates for graduation have completed all of the requirements of the state of Georgia and the Atlanta Board of Education and are now eligible to receive their diploma. Our board members, Superintendent Dr. Maria Christophe and Dr. Dan Sims, and assistant principals, Mr. Coleman and Ms. Anderson Davis, please step forward to assist with the distribution of diplomas. Dr. Plummer will announce the candidates. In orders, again, we ask you to refrain so that everyone can be respected with dignity.
Emmanuel Isaiah Roberts. Catherine Perez Isidore. Jamesia Antoinette Robinson. Tequila Delora Barnes. Talisha Nitika Sledge. Kara Lowell Lewis. Samaya Amira Thornton. Micaiah Curterius Ivory. Alexis Ayana Favors. Sumaya Rashida Chapman. Macy Miera Mitchell. Terrence Anthony Rice, Jr. Savion Demario Hutchinson. Valente Marquise Anderson. Monterio Linares Williams. Nico Larissa Oliver. Okay. Joey Dewan Mitchell, Jr. Aquandala Deshelle Howard. Jalen Aaron Mallory. Valerie Lachey Lewis. Durante Gerard Powell. Ahmad Mackay Hunter. Brittany Brazil Miller. Tyrell Deshawn Mitchell. Layla Ganis Hijera. DeAnthony Jaquez Love. Jakayla Sherleek Moore. DeAndre Dion Stallworth. Darius Shimon Anderson. Hannah McCall Vaughn.
Seniors, there's one more step before we declare you graduates. I would like to extend this opportunity for Atlanta Board of Ed to certify our graduates, and please come forward. You're going to do it next.
Class of 2019, your principal has verified that you have completed all the requirements set forth for graduation by the state of Georgia and the Atlanta Board of Education. By the power vested in me by the Atlanta Board of Education, I hereby certify you as graduates of Alonzo A. Crim, class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2019 Alonzo A. Crim Open Campus class of 2019. Thank you.